Joan Bakewell, what are your thoughts on this?
I think we're about to see an evacuation of people from poorer backgrounds giving up on universities. I just think they'll think it's not worth that kind of debt. That kind of debt is huge if you've got a very low income. And, you know, debt is something that this country has learned to be wary about. It's really bad to lumber yourself with debt.
People are quite right to be wary about it.
And even, you know, the squeezed middles. I mean, I see this undermining the university chances of my own grandchildren. I mean, it's a real dilemma.
The previous government told us that the introduction of tuition fees had not deterred students from poorer backgrounds. They always insisted that there was no evidence for that. But of course the fees then were capped at around £3,000. They look that they'll at least double. I think logically you would assume it will have some effect.
I can't imagine that it will not. I mean, how can young people of 18 and 19 contemplate embarking on a way of life that involves them in debts that will last a lifetime, virtually? I just think the option will be, oh, forget university, we don't like it very much, some of us say, why not go straight into a career? Apprenticeships, please. Let's have other vocational training.
Of course, in some cases that may be better to go and do a proper apprentice than media studies at Chipping Sodbury University.
Now that's very cynical of you, but I do think it reduces the options for people with low incomes. There's no doubt about that.
Well, that was Adam Fleming reporting. Joan Bakewell still with us, and you might remember she was appointed as a voice of older people by the previous government. We hope you'll be sounding the same voice now. We also have Neil O'Brien with us, who runs the Policy Exchange think tank. Joan, can I just start with you? You know, wearing that hat still, if you will. Why should the winter fuel allowance be universal? Is there any justification?
I don't think it should be. I tried to send mine back. I rang them and said, I don't need this, I really don't need it. And they said, there's no mechanism for taking it back.
What about the...
So it goes to a charity. There is a charity that's actually founded so that people can send.
I think we might have talked to you about on this very programme, actually.
No, I think that's a fair one.
So that one's a fair one. OK, but what about the others? I mean, you had there a man saying, nothing will make me walk up Whitehall except this taking away of my bus pass. Why should that not be taken away?
I think that's the most crucial one that people will fight for. I tell you why, because there are other agendas about the free bus pass. If you don't get a free bus pass, you use your car, which means you block up the traffic. Now, the one thing that London needs is to get as many people on public transport as possible and not have old age pensioners driving around in cars, adding to the carbon footprint and clogging the traffic. So it's not a principle of universal benefit then, it's a principle of, in a way, social engineering, is that what you're saying? Well, yes, it's part of a social policy about what is better for the community. What about TV licences? And their other thing is about getting older people on the buses and the tubes is that they get exercise, they stay healthy. So there's a fitness agenda there. Right. So it's a more complicated one. OK, I mean, that we'll pick up on that, sort of what it actually does to the society that we live in a moment. But just clear up TV licences as well. What's your feeling about that? Well, I think you get the drift from the people that spoke there, is that old people feel they've spent 50 years investing in their community and the whole community. They've paid TV licences from here to Kingdom Come, put a huge amount of money in it. And at the end of life, it's nice to feel, and it is an optional thing, that there's a reward for that. Right.